So 0-4 to start the year. Nice. Real nice. Absolutely nice, freaking fantastic, whatever else that I could even think of at this point. My goodness. 0-4, 8 runs again allowed. You're outscored in your first 4 games, I believe. 37-12. 37-12 you have been outscored by in your first four games. Like, dude. Like, there's not panicking, and there's just being flat out irritated. I'm not panicking whatsoever. Like I said, full disclosure, everything like that. I am not panicked about the rest of the season. There's so many other games left. Yes. There's a difference between being panicked, and there's a difference between just being annoyed, being frustrated right now, being irritated. Because our expectations so far for this season were very high. They were. They were very high for everyone here. And to start the season 0-4, it's just frustrating. It's so frustrating on every basis. The hitting's there. They're getting hits. They're not hitting with runners in scoring position. There's no power right now. We've only had 1 home run for our first 4 games, and that home run was by Alec Bowman on opening day. We haven't gotten close to one. We did have the close one by Kyle Schwarber. That happened yesterday, but sadly that did not happen. Alec Bohm does continue to hit, though. So does Trey Turner. But besides that, there's no pop so far in this lineup. Just none. And I'm sure the Rhys Hoskins haters now are realizing what they're missing from Rhys Hoskins. We stated this when Rhys was injured. You're missing 30 home runs. You're missing 80-plus RBI. You're missing a lot of pop from the middle of that lineup. You're missing it now. You are desperately missing it. Because we all know with Schwarber, he takes a little bit to get going. It sucks that he does take a little bit to get going, especially with the lack of power in this lineup right now. Because, Kyle, I don't think we can wait until June, man. I love you. I love you, Schwarber. This is not me knocking Schwarber at all. I love the guy. I just don't think right now we can wait until June for you to heat up. That is just me thinking out loud right there. I just don't think you can wait. I don't think you can wait. Because right now there's just a serious lack of power in this lineup. Trey Turner keeps hitting. He's eventually going to get his due. He's been very good to start the year. Trey Turner has. Alec Bohm has been very good to start the year. Nick Castellanos had a quiet game. He did have a good series overall, I believe, in Texas. Bryce had a really good series in Texas. Originally was not supposed to start this game. It was originally Josh Harrison. But then apparently Harrison had a sore ankle out of nowhere. Then Stott got slotted back into the lineup. He didn't have a good day. He did get a hit, though. Brandon Marsh in the lineup against the lefty. He had a very bad game. I know he had 2 hits registered on the board, but Brandon Marsh, my God. My God, dude. You got to be better. You got to be way better than that in the outfield. You can't be misreading that type of ball. You just can't. I don't know if it's sunk on him. I don't know if he just didn't see it off the bat. But you can't be allowing a leadoff triple in that type of fashion. And you can't be getting thrown out at third base on stupid base running decisions. You should know that Cordero out in right field has a very strong arm. You shouldn't be second guessing yourself as you're 50 feet past third base running back and forth. It shouldn't be happening. It just can't. Because you lost an opportunity to get another run on the board. It just can't happen. It's mental mistakes. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It's irritating. Like I said, there's a difference between panicking and there's a difference between being irritated. And I believe right now every Phillies fan is irritated because we were very excited for this season to start. We were. And this is the type of, performances that we're getting. It kind of just feels like right now this team is still in spring training. It really does. And if this is just the side effect of a World Series hangover going on that World Series run, I understand they didn't win the World Series, but a lot of these guys on this roster, that was their first experience going that deep into the playoffs. Is that what's affecting the pitching right now? not, getting a heavy workload in spring training, not properly training them? Is this just all a side effect of a World Series hangover? Because if that's the case, they got to find a way to get out of this quick, because you really don't want to go to your home opener in Citizens Bank Park this Thursday without a single win. Because honestly, if they do go there without a single win, and this, like I said, this is just me overreacting right now, I do believe they get a win in this series in New York. But to say, if they don't get a win in this series at all, if they don't, and they return to Citizens Bank Park Thursday scoreless, they better delay all that National League Championship stuff. Because a packed Citizens Bank Park, oh boy, they're going to be booing those guys. I don't even think those guys will want to be involved in the ceremony without a win on the board. It's frustrating, man. I'm just flat out annoyed. Flat out annoyed. And we have every right to be. Panic? No. That's not where I'm going. We went through that entire thing last year at the beginning of the season where we were saying, I'm not panic, it's only a month into the season, yada, 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 all that stuff. And look what happened the rest of the way. An 162-game season is a very, 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 very long journey up a long, tall mountain. There's going to be a lot of ups, and those ups are going to be very fun. Amazing, fantastic ups. And those downs, we're going to feel like this. We're going to feel annoyed. We're going to want to pull our hair out. We're going to want to yell at ourselves in front of a camera talking to people on YouTube. That's how we're going to feel during the course of the 162 games this year. That's how it's going to be. And it just sucks right now because I want to see a win. I want to see more competitive baseball. I don't want to be outscored 37-12 in our first 4 games of the year. I don't want to see Yunior Marte going out there in 2 appearances so far. 2 appearances. And he gives up 2 gigantic home runs in both of those outings. I'm already done with the guy. I am already done with the guy. I just am. I'm already done with Marte. He came in the game on Saturday, I believe. Yes, I believe it was the game Saturday, and he gave up one of those home runs to Mitch Garver. 3-run shot. He comes in today in relief of Taijuan Walker. I'll get into Taijuan Walker a little bit. I was okay with his start. Okay, but I'll get into it more explaining in detail as we get further along. But I am sick of this dude. I'm already tired of him. It's been 2 appearances so far. The dude sucks. The dude is garbage. No wonder why he got waived by the San Francisco Giants. No wonder. No wonder why. I don't care that he had a very good spring training. I don't care what he did during that instance. The guy sucks. He just does. And he should be on a goddamn train to Lehigh Valley yesterday. Get him off the roster now, but he's most likely going to be on the roster for a little bit until some of these guys that are injured get back. I would assume he's the first guy to go as soon as, a guy like a Ranger Suarez does return. That's what I would expect at this point. It's absolutely frustrating. The misplays by Marsh, the bullpen, the relief appearances, the walks, the lack of power so far in these first 4 games, it's incredibly irritating. It is. Because the hitting is there. They had 11 hits in this game, I believe. 11 hits. 12 hits. Turner goes 2 for 4. Alec Boehm had a fantastic day at the plate. He went 3 for 4. Hall had a hit. Sosa had a hit in RBI. Marsh went 2 for 4 regardless of his bad game. Stott went 1 for 4. Schwarber had a bad day at the plate. Castellanos had a bad day at the plate. JT did get the hit, but that was in the situation where Marsh, had the terrible base running over at third base. But once again, you were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position yesterday in Texas, and now you're 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. It just can't happen. It cannot happen this consistently. Yes, I understand you're going to go through either your ups and downs during the course of a season. You're going to have your weeks, you're going to have your games where you're constantly scoring runs, where you're constantly hitting with runners in scoring position. You're constantly getting those clutch hits, and you're going to go through those weeks where you're not getting those runs. You're not getting those hits with runners in scoring position where you're struggling to score. It's going to happen. It's just incredibly frustrating and irritating that it is happening in the first 4 games of the season, where we had high expectations for this team so far, and we have yet to see a win. It's not a case for panic. I am not saying that. I am just irritated. And we have all the right to be irritated. I had a buddy of mine go up to New York today. He hated it every single second. There was an Eagles chant that broke out during the game too. Phillies fans already had enough. Seriously. Outscored 37-12. Outscored. Ridiculous. It just is. And yes, they're eventually going to win a game. It's just a disaster to start the year right now. It just is. It really is. So, to get to Taijuan Walker, because I basically haven't brought him up in, the 12 minutes that we have been streaming so far. Taijuan Walker, besides the first inning, I thought was okay. I thought overall his performance was okay. I thought he settled in after that because that first inning was, my God. That first inning was not good. It was not good at all. Even though it started with a huge misplay by Brandon Marsh, you end up just with an insanely long inning. You end up walking Aaron Judge. You end up walking Rizzo. A lot of full counts in this inning as well. Then Stanton chops one to short. Can't really do anything about it. It scores a run. You do get the force out, but a run does score. And then Torres, just a misplay by Walker in the infield, goes off his glove. Everybody's safe. Another run scores to make it 2-0. Then you get the second out of the inning, but then you walk Aaron Hicks. Then you manage to somehow survive the rest of the inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and Trevino does ground out. But overall, the full picture of Walker's night, it was okay. It wasn't terrible. It was one of the reasons why you lost the game, but another reason why you lost the game was because of the bullpen and also the offense not hitting with runners in scoring position. It was basically a combination of everything. Walker, he was just another part of that puzzle. But I think overall a lot of his pitches today were really good. The splitter looked really good. He was clocking 95 to 96 on his fastball consistently. There were a lot of nasty things from Taijuan Walker in this game. He went 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs allowed. One of those runs were due to the Yunior Marte home run that he gave up to Anthony Rizzo. So he left the game with 3 earned runs allowed. The home run happened by Rizzo. 4th run got charged to him. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts on 87 pitches. So would have wished that he went a little deeper in the game, but that first inning he threw at least 30-something pitches. But overall, even though he did allow a home run to Gleyber Torres as well, I thought the rest of the way he did settle down a lot. It was just that first inning that just really set the tone for the game. It just did. It really did. But then if you look at the rest of the bullpen, if you look at the pitching in total, you had 9 walks. You allowed 9 walks in this game. Taijuan Walker had 3, Marte had 3, Vasquez had 2, and Sir Anthony had 1. Look at Yunior Marte. He comes in relief for Taijuan Walker in that 5th inning. He only gets 1 out. He struggled to get a single out in his last appearance as well in Texas. Goes a third of an inning, allows 3 hits, 4 earned runs allowed, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, and a home run allowed to Anthony Rizzo on 31 pitches. In 2 appearances so far, Marte's ERA is 54. That's garbage. That's terrible. And overall, as the team ERA, it's just god-awful for this Phillies squad right now. It just is. The bullpen, the pitching, in total. It's not good. A lot of these guys just don't look ready to start the year. A lot of the guys that have been on the team last year, from you looking at Aaron Nola, you looked at Zack Wheeler. Bailey Falter overall has been your best starting pitcher in the first 4 games. And then second, I would put not Taijuan Walker, I would put Zack Wheeler. Third, I would put Taijuan Walker. And then 4th, I would put Aaron Nola, just because of how badly he blew up. So your starters, overall, your main guys, don't look ready to start the year. Your bullpen clearly does not look ready to start the year, even though I do believe this bullpen is much deeper and much better than it was last year, besides Yunior Marte. Overall, they don't look ready to start the year. It really just looks like right now, every single guy in the pitching staff is going through the motions, is going through spring training right now. That's what it feels like. And maybe that's the side effect of a World Series hangover. Maybe because it did sound like the Phillies' spring training approach was just to make sure that their guys were healthy and available for opening day instead of, just getting them properly ready. Because that's what it sounded like. A lot of these guys weren't used, to that short off season. Your season ends around November instead of what you've been used to in September when not making the playoffs. So you really do get that short layoff right when, you report to spring training in February. So maybe that's a side effect out of all this. Maybe this, like I said, the World Series hangover. But these guys are eventually going to have to find a way to snap out of it and get a win under the belts. No room to panic, like I said. It's just goddamn irritating. It just is. So irritating. And I don't know what else to say. It just is. Because if you look at a lot of your chances in this game, just hitting-wise, runners in scoring position. Top of the first inning, you go down 1-2-3. Second inning, Alec Bohm and Derek Hall, they both get on base. Then Sosa pops up and Stott grounds into a fielder's choice. So that's two chances right there with runners in scoring position failed. Top of the third inning, Trey Turner gets a single with one out. Nothing happens there. Top of the fourth inning, Edmundo Sosa and Alec Bohm with one out, doubles to left field, and then Edmundo Sosa eventually drives him home with a single. So the Phillies do get on the board there in the fourth inning, hit with runners in scoring position. Wow. Top of the fifth inning, Brendan Marsh leads off with a double. And then two straight outs. So if you're thinking about this, Brendan Marsh, your 9-hole hitter, leads off with a double, goes down the left field line. You're thinking, okay, this is a really good chance for us to get, back into this game. It's 3-1. Maybe we can make it 3-2. Maybe we tie this ball game up. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, the top of the lineup is coming up. What happens? Trey Turner grounds out, Kyle Schwarber grounds out, and then the JT Realmuto single happens, but then you witness Brandon Marsh have 20 billion brain farts at once. Just the most stupid play that I've ever seen on the base pass in my goddamn life. Brandon Marsh had such a bad game regardless of what it said on his stat sheet, hitting-wise. The blunder on the base path and the blunder in the outfield to start the game just cannot happen. It can't. Cannot happen. Top of the sixth inning, Alec Bohm gets on base again. Nothing happens. Top of the seventh, Marsh singles, Trey Turner singles, but this is when it's 8-1. Maybe you could try to creep back into the game. Kyle Schwarber strikes out, and then JT swings the first pitch and pops up. Or flies out, actually. Top 8th, 1-2-3, top 9. Stock get infield single, but basically your game is over by then. Just, like I said, the hitting is there. It's the hitting with runners in scoring position that's the major issue. You had 11 hits today. So, you're getting hits. You're getting on base. It's a matter of fact of getting those guys to third base and getting those guys to home. That's the issue. Because there were a lot of situations in the series in Texas where you struggled to get guys past second base. You scored today, but you really have struggled with runners in scoring position in these past two games. Honestly, you can even say in the second game against Texas on Saturday, because you only scored 3 runs, even though it was basically more on the pitching because you got blown out so badly. Basically, ever since, game 1 where you're getting all these triples, you're getting all these extra base, it's like they're getting extra base hits, they're getting doubles, they're getting triples all over the place. It's driving these guys in. Trey Turner getting singles, doubles, triples everywhere possible. Brandon Marsh getting a lot of extra base hits to start the year. Alec Bohm getting a lot of extra base hits to start the year. The rest of the power, it's just not there. JT Realmuto, after a good few couple of games, even though he did have a single today, it's just like, it feels like right now, like I said, they're going through the motions. Kyle Schwarber, we know he's a slow starter, but right now we really need that pop. I know Derek Hall provides it too, but it's a lot to ask of Derek Hall to be the sole guy to provide it so far. Him and Kyle Schwarber. You need more from Nick Castellanos because he hasn't gone deep yet, even though he did have a good series in Texas. You need way more. Alec Bohm, he's hitting .467 to start the year, so he's been good. He has the sole home run for the team. Seriously, in 4 games, you have 4 home runs, and you have allowed 8. 8. You have allowed 8 home runs to start the year in 4 games. It's not good. It's not good at all. Jesus. So, it's basically where we stand on this game. Because, once again, you have blown out. And once again, you can't hit with runners in scoring position. And once again, your bullpen sucked. Honestly, it was one guy that sucked. I know Vasquez was a little shaky. Sir Anthony was a little shaky. But still, they got out of their situations without allowing a run. Walking guys too much, though. Marte, though, he needs to be gone. He needs to be gone yesterday. Send him down to AAA. Send him packing. Send him on a bus. Taxi, whatever you got to do. I don't want to see this guy right now. I don't want to see him being the first guy out of the bullpen. I just don't. Because the dude, even though he throws heat, he can't throw anything. My God. My God. I hate it. 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 I do. I really do. Just full on irritation. Just is. Ay, ay, ay. They were getting the hits. You can't hit with the guys on. And the serious lack of power is annoying. But that's what happens when one of your top power hitters goes down with a torn ACL. And all the Rhys Hoskins haters are going to understand what they're missing. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. On Twitter right here. I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else here on Twitter. So, moving away from tonight's game, let's look at the rest of the series. Because why not? Need something else to talk about. So, we got 2 more games in this series. You got tomorrow, 7:05, Matt Strahm going up against Domingo Germán. Matt Strahm, I think I saw on Twitter that he's going to be like on a 65, 75 pitch limit. So basically, it's an extended bullpen game, with Strahm probably going at least 3-4 innings, hopefully. Maybe 5. Then Wednesday, 1:05, afternoon tilt. Nola going up against Garrett Cole. And then you're back home against Cincinnati and Miami. Just irritated. That's all. I'm not panicked about the entire year. There's a difference between panic and irritation. Just is. But yes, the series lack of power in the lineup right now is concerning. Only having 1 home run for your first 4 games is concerning. Because, like we've all stated, losing Rhys Hoskins is a bigger loss than a lot of people think. And I did stress that. Even though I was still very confident in the team. Still, you're losing 30 home runs, and you're losing at least 80 RBIs out of Rhys. And to a lot of the people that thought Derek Hall was going to easily replace that, right now I think they're wrong. Because that's a lot to ask from a guy that really hasn't done that. I know he had a nice sample size last year. This is not to knock Derek Hall at all. It's just hard to ask a guy that had a very small sample size last year to instantly replace a guy that can hit 30-plus home runs and give you at least 85 RBIs. It's so hard to ask that. This is not a Jim Thome, Ryan Howard situation. It just isn't. It's not. I feel like some people were trying to compare it to that. It wasn't. It completely wasn't. Ryan Howard and Derek Hall are two completely different type of guys. At least Ryan Howard could hit lefties. To an extent, he was able to hit power off lefties. I know Derek Hall got a hit tonight against the lefty, but still, the point remains. Yes, Derek Hall is going to hit home runs. He does have pure power. But his best attribute is hitting right-handed hitters. Right-handed pitchers, I mean. And yes, Kyle Schwarber does start to heat up as the weather gets warmer, but like I said earlier, I love Kyle Schwarber. I just don't think we can wait that long right now with the lack of power. Alec Boehm still has a lot to prove. God. Just sucks. It does. Marte, I need him gone. I need him gone. Now, Julian Marte won't come out tomorrow because he had 30 pitches today. You don't put a guy out of the bullpen the very next day after he threw 30 pitches. That just doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, Rob Thompson definitely has made some questionable decisions with the bullpen. But when you're putting out every single guy and they're all failing, how can I... Okay. Rob, are we seriously... Rob, we're seriously going to bring up the Rhys Hoskins defense. You're talking about defense and compared to what Rhys provides in the batter's box. I'm not going to argue it. Not going to argue it. Yes, Julian, Braves did win the World Series without Acuna. There is enough talent on this team. Right now, they're just... I don't know how to describe it. It just feels like World Series hangover. Mr. W, I think Stott has been fine. If I look at Stott's stats, I'm look at Stott's stats to start the year. If I can get to that game, hit the wrong thing. Stott's batting .400 to start the year. He's got a .400 average, .438 on base. Stott's been fine. He's been getting on base. He's not the guy that you expect to drive in the runs. He's been fine. So I don't know what you're watching there, Mr. W, but I think Stott's been fine. Does have to come at you. I'm just curious to why you think Stott needs to wake up. He's been fine. If I'm looking for the lineup. Like I'm looking for the lineup right now. Turner has been great in the first 4 games. Boehm has been fantastic for the first 4 games. Sosa has been great. I don't know why I'm starting to sneeze now. Stott has been fine in the batter's box and defensively. And Marsh, for his blunders today, everywhere, he's put up a good slash line. Got a lot of extra base hits. Yeah, the three worst starters have been the guys who didn't throw much. Yeah. It's weird, too, because I think Taijuan Walker had a game in the World Baseball Classic where he dominated. I believe so. In one of the games that he pitched for Mexico. I believe he had a game where he dominated. It wasn't in the World Series. I don't believe it was in the World Series. It was one of those games against Atlanta where he had one of those bad errors. It was in the DS where he had one of those bad errors. I think Rhys was fine defensively, actually, for the rest of it, to my knowledge. Bob says... Yeah, right. Yeah, Julian, I don't know right now who's going to hit those home runs besides Schwarber. Trey Turner, he's going to get you at least maybe a 290, 300 plus average. He's going to get you maybe 20, 25 home runs, 90 plus RBI. But if you're talking about like pure other power from a guy in the lineup like that can get 30 plus home runs besides Schwarber, right now there's no one. There is no one. And if that narrative continues right now, I'm sure Dave Dombrowski is going to do something about it. I don't think Dave Dombrowski is going to sit on his ass and not do anything about it. Like, he's not going to do anything after 4 games. That's just asinine to do that because no one out in Major League Baseball is doing anything on the trade market after 4 games. But if it continues probably within a month, if Hall doesn't really do anything power-wise for the first month, I'm sure Dave Dombrowski is going to try to do something to fix that. If that's going out to one of these, worser teams that are obviously not going to be contending, and you try to get one of their power bats. Like, guys that are, probably names from other teams, CJ Cron from Colorado. He's a big power guy. Plays first base. So that would definitely be a replacement there for the power. But, Bohm has looked insanely good in the first 4 games. He does have the lone home run on the year. But can he do it consistently? Can he prove to us that he can get at least 20, 25 home runs? I'm as high on Bohm as anyone. I believe in his power. I do. It's just that he hasn't done it consistently. We got to wait to see. Yeah, I would like to see more power from JT too. I know JT is going to do his thing. He's going to get you 20, 25 home runs. That's what he does consistently. But it always feels like JT is another guy that's, a slow starter. It does feel like that. What else? Whoever made this schedule is an idiot. Why start the season with the AL teams on the road for the NL champs? I don't know, man. I don't know why they started out like that. But can't complain about it now. You're going through it. Can't complain about it now. Maybe it's because the Phillies have started at home so many times over the past couple of seasons that's why they started to put them out on the road. If the Phillies won the World Series, they would have started out at home. But basically just a wait and see process. I do believe we have a voicemail here on the hotline. I believe we just got one. And surprisingly, it is not from Sean Fitzpatrick. It is from someone else. So let's bring this call up. I believe this is from Brian, as I see in the transcript. So let me bring this voicemail up. And let's see what Brian has to say.
Hey, man. What's up, man? How are you? I just wanted to say, I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a little bit of a Phillies fan, but I mostly like the Texas Rangers. So I went to the game on Saturday. I was really disappointed to see how they got pretty destroyed by the Rangers. But today, I'm really sad. I really wanted them to win against the Yankees. The Yankees are a pretty bad team. I really wanted the Phillies to win. It was really sad to see Bryce Harper and Rhys Hoskins not in the game. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well, thank you for your call there, Brian. I appreciate you as a Texas Ranger fan calling the channel. I do appreciate that. And anyone that does want to leave their thoughts and opinions down in the Anytime Hotline, text or voicemail, you can leave it at 215-839-9885. Leave your thoughts and opinions down there. I do love to hear from everyone there. So, yeah. I do appreciate the call there, Brian. And yeah, it does suck not having Harper and Hoskins right now, even though it does sound like Harper's more on track to come back earlier than a lot of people expected, which would be a great thing. Slotting Harper back in the DH spot, even though he's not going to be full MVP level Bryce Harper as soon as the get-go hits, but that would be very nice to have back in your lineup. Right now, it's basically just a tread water, I guess, at this point, until you get Bryce back. Which was basically what they had to do last year, but they did have Rhys Hoskins in the lineup. So, that was another thing. And you got to handle. For a lot of people that did not like Rhys Hoskins, they got to handle. Rhys, for his cold streaks, he had a lot of great hot streaks. When he was hot, he could carry the offense for weeks upon end of time when he got hot. Like, think of the moments, last season, he had a stretch in a 4-game series against the Nationals where he homered in every single game. where he had stretches in June, he had stretches in July when he was really hot and he was really carrying the offense. You were desperately missing that from the lineup, and that really sucks that he's not going to be here this year. You were really missing that. And it's going to take a lot for this team to make up for that. Kyle Schwarber can only do so much power-wise. You need a lot more people. Yeah, Castellanos still has to prove that he can hit for power. It's just the fact that I don't know what's wrong with Castellanos power-wise. I thought, even though he did have a very solid series against Texas, it's just the fact that I just need pop. That's what we need from Castellanos. We need pop. And he's not providing that. And for Alec Bohm, he just has, even though he's been fantastic over these first 4 games hitting-wise, he needs to prove to us that he can hit, 20, 25 home runs. JT is going to get you at least 20. Trey Turner is going to get you at least 20, 25. Kyle Schwarber is going to get you at least 30, 35. At his best, 40 plus. But we don't know right now what we're going to get from Castellanos. Like, can you ask for 20 to 25? Bohm, can you ask for 20 to 25? Like, Castellanos more on the of plus 25 because he's done it in the past. Like, that's what we expect so much from Castellanos because he's done it in the past. I don't know what's the issue right now. I don't. And then the rest of the lineup, Stott's not a power guy. He can hit home runs, but he'll probably give you maybe like 10 at least. Marsh, basically the same thing as Stott. He'll probably get you maybe at least 10. Sosa, he's not going to be an everyday guy. Who else? Derek Hall, we don't know what to expect from him. In the small sample size that he did have last season, he did have 9 home runs. So can he get you at least, maybe 20 if he does go well? Who knows? If the Tigers win, the Phillies will be the only winless team that, oh, Jesus. Julian and Mr. W, do not put that thought in my head. Please. Do not put that thought in my head. We do have another call here on the Anytime hotline. Not sure who this is from, though, because the transcript is not available. So let me try to play this back so I can hear this. Yeah, boy. That is definitely not a call that we need to hear here. So, but yeah, it's just, overall, it's just frustrating. Oakland will win today. I think they may sweep the Guardians. Oh, God. Negative Nancy. No, Mr. W, it wasn't a negative Nancy. It was just a troll call. Don't worry. That's why I muted the speaker for it. I didn't want to run the risk of it, being something stupid. Fred Benson. When does the Sixers playoffs start? Enough with the Phillies and Flyers, BS. Fred, you're already done with the Phillies? Are you already done? Can Yunior Marte start and goal for the Flyers? How about be a center for the Sixers or linebacker for the Eagles? He's a poison to the Phillies. Oh, God. It's definitely something. And it is. As I'm watching the national championship game behind, or actually in front of me. I believe UConn is winning in the second half. Just started. What else? If Harper was at least able to DH, the loss of Hoskins would be at least horrible. Yeah, it would be. It definitely would be. I don't want to be around right now, says Channeling. What else? Trying to see if there's anything else here on the... And this person that continues to troll is calling back again. I don't know what this person's doing. I don't know what this is. Now they just played like the Phillies home run song. I don't even know what's going on here. This is what we're doing here. Phillies lose tomorrow, then win the series finale. Write it down. I had that predicted before the series even started. Oh god, that means we got to go 0-5, Gibby. It's what it got. It's what it got to be. 0-5. That's what you're saying to me. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. Want to see anything else here? Good news is Bohm has arrived. They are pitching him up and in. The bad news, they're giving up 9 runs, 9 walks, and 37 runs in 4 games. Edge of Phillies Sports, how you doing? Yep, definitely feel sick. Definitely. It's not panic time until we go 10. Red Sox just lost, so feeling bummed too, says bomb.com. Got a Red Sox fan in here. I'm going on the 8th. I swear I don't, if they don't clean up their act before then. No way they suck this badly this year. They have too much. Yeah, they have way too much talent. Like I said, big picture wise, I believe overall they're going to be fine. Maybe this is just World Series hangover that we're going through. It doesn't make it any less frustrating though. It definitely doesn't. But there's also maybe one benefit. I'm trying to see here. Is there a benefit to them being 0-5? Is there a benefit to them being 0-5? Has any team won a World Series starting 0-5? I don't believe so. Don't believe so. Okay, we do have another call. This is from Brian again. He's asking another question. So why not get Brian in here? This is not the troll person. I blocked that number.
Hey man, sorry, I just wanted to call again. I've been enjoying your stream. I just wanted to ask, what was your opinion on the Phillies side of pitching on opening day versus the Rangers? I just want to see your opinion on it. I have my own opinion. I don't want to long this call out, but I just want to see what your opinion is. My name is not Brian, it's Aiden, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I saw Brian in the first call from the transcript, so that's probably why I thought your name was Brian. Sorry, Aiden, for thinking that. But overall, yeah, think of the pitching from the opening day. Aaron Nola just blew up. That's basically the entire summary of that. Aaron Nola just blew up. And that's the entire thing there. Then the guys that came out of the bullpen, Soto didn't look good, even though he did look good and much better in his second appearance. Soto clearly struggled with walks, and that's what we're going to be seeing basically throughout him until Caleb Coplin fixes him. Brogdon struggled. The bullpen, basically, beside Aaron Nola blowing up and the rest of the bullpen, they just struggled. That's the only thing I can think of right now. And it just makes me go back to thinking that, with the way they probably handled spring training because of the short layoff and, getting to the World Series, not having that long of an offseason as you're used to. Maybe they were just, I believe they were just focused on getting guys healthy, making sure they were healthy for opening day, rather than, amping them up, getting their arms properly prepared. This kind of feels like an extended spring training. That's what it does feel like. It just does. Julian, tank for Bedard. We don't talk about the Flyers right now, Julian. We don't mention the Flyers right now. Who knows? We probably say that and they'll somehow fucking luck their way into getting Bedard. Somehow. And Julian, I did not know you were a Flyers fan. Did not know that. Learn something new every day. maybe the one benefit, and this is a very just hush-hush, but maybe the one benefit of them going 0-4 so far is that, the home opener ticket prices on SeatGeek, they're dropping a little bit. maybe that's one of the benefits there, so I can go to the home opener with my father. And also, speaking of SeatGeek, you see the code right up there. It's in my top left. You can use that code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase. Hey, I'm looking at the page right now. This cheapest ticket for this game, home opener. So far, it says the best deal right now is $90. Oh, the cheapest ticket is $90. So maybe tomorrow they update and they get cheaper. I think the cheapest ticket I saw today was standing room. It was like $74 without fees. So maybe they keep going down. I'll probably end up finding a way to get 2 tickets to this game, because I just want to go to baseball. Even though I do have a partial season ticket plan with me and my cousin, I'm going to a lot of games this year. A couple in April, a couple in May, June, July, August, September. I'm going to at least 2 games, I believe, every month. Oh, you are a Flyers fan and a frustrated Sixers fan. Go figure. Yeah, I'll do. And speaking of Sixers, right now, basically, now with Phillies every day, I'll get the Sixers recaps when the playoffs start. That's when I'll do my Sixers recaps. I hate that I don't do them during the regular season, just because sometimes I just forget. And especially with the lack of not doing Flyers recaps, I thought I was missing something there. But it was just like, the bottom of that. But I'll get the Sixers recaps when the playoffs start. And that's honestly not that far away. I was at the Sixers game against Dallas. It was a pretty fun time. Definitely was. Always try to go to at least one Sixers game a year with my buddies. Yeah, baseball games are definitely fun to go to. Oh yeah, Gibby, I'm not panicking whatsoever. It's just I'm irritated of an 0-4 start. That's basically it. I think that's what everyone in here is. They're just irritated because you were so excited for the series to start this year. You were so excited for the game to come back, and you start 0-4. Especially in Game 1, when you blow a 5-0 lead after wrecking Jacob deGrom, as Aiden's saying in the chat right here. After you wreck Jacob deGrom, and then you blow that lead. And then Saturday happened. Sunday I would have been fine with if they won one of the other games. It was a pitcher's duel that just went down to, a team scoring an extra run. And then today it was just another unacceptable performance. It's got to be better. Got to be better overall. Yeah. Trey Turner thinking, I didn't get an out clause already. Trey Turner's 4 games into his Phillies tenure, and he's already regretting the contract. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Gibby, I know. They blew a 7-1 lead early in the season to the Mets, and they still went to the World Series. I know that. Yeah, I do know that. What did the Braves do when they won the World Series? I want to see that. I don't think it was like they started 0-something. I believe it was like they were 2-4 to start the year. But if I'm also looking at like back to, actually, let me see, the 2021 Atlanta Braves. Let me see their schedule for 2021. Not their playoff schedule. Oh yeah, the Braves in 2021, they started off by getting swept by the Phillies. Yeah, the Braves started off 0-4 in 2021, yes. A team has started 0-4 and won the World Series. That was the Atlanta Braves in 2021. But then followed that up, the Braves, after starting 0-4, they won 4 straight games. Then they lost 4 straight games. So basically, they were very up and down to start that. And I believe the 2008 Phillies, they were like 2-4. If you want to find like very funny comparable stats to like previous winning Phillies teams, specifically the 2007 and 2008 Phillies teams, go to John Foley on Twitter because I believe he posted like the last time the Phillies He always finds a way to compare records to the current team to the 2008 team. It's funny. But yeah, I think right now, how long? We're 50 minutes into this. I did not expect this to be this long. But hey, we're having a solid time here. We are having a solid time. And I just saw that the subscriber count went up to 670. That's nice. And speaking of subscribers, if people that are in the stream right now, people that are viewing it overall, every stream, like I said, we do daily Phillies recaps, especially since baseball season is back. We'll have a recap tomorrow, Wednesday, as the day goes on, as the weeks goes on, as the season goes along. We did Eagles recaps throughout the entire year, the Super Bowl and all that stuff. Sixers recaps, they'll come back when the playoffs start. Like I said, I really need to get more consistent with Sixers streams. It's just the fact that, like, I'm thinking to myself, because right now it's a small channel and everything like that. There's so many like Sixers centric sport channels. Like, specifically, if you're thinking about Sixers and Eagles combined, there's so many Philadelphia sports talk channels on YouTube that are just solely Eagles and Sixers. And there's a lot that are just solely Sixers. So a lot of the content doesn't get driven to me just because there's so many other popular streamers that do Sixers just by themselves. But it's also kind of to me not being comfortable fully talking basketball on a live stream. That's just me. Fold out there. But I'll get better at it as the days goes along, and we'll do the playoffs recaps this year, and maybe next year, because most likely next season the Flyers are going to be bad, so I probably won't be doing Flyers recaps next season, unless they get Connor Bedard, and maybe that'll make the games more entertaining. But we'll get more Sixers recaps. We have the Phillies recaps all season long. We'll get the NFL draft and all that crap, so yeah. They play the Reds 7 times in the next 2 weeks, so that's a positive. That definitely is. Reds had surprised me, but they have actually scored. Yeah. It's going to be a very long journey of a season. They're going to be fine. I do believe that. Right now, it's just very frustrating. Starting 0-4. It's a long journey, though. A long journey of ups and downs. It's what 162 games are in a baseball season. That's what the beauty of it is. I also know that I know with everything they're doing with the new rules and stuff, that they're trying to shorten the games, with the pitch clock and everything like that. For every game so far, Phillies game that is, matter of fact, every game, the opposing team has had some type of pitch com issue. Due to loophole of not being, in violation of the pitch clock. I think MLB needs to make a rule that when a new pitcher comes out, or like during your warm-ups, when you're coming out for the next inning, when you're on the mound, test the pitch com to make sure it works. And if it doesn't work, you get a new one during your warm-ups. So you can get away from this stupid loophole. Because the Rangers did it way too many times, and then the Yankees did it today. In the 9th inning, too. Like, seriously, it's the 9th inning. It's 8-1. Why are we caring about the pitch com right now? Just something I thought of, and also something that aggravated me. But I do like that the games are going quicker. I do like the games that are, generally shorter. My dad would especially like it. Every time we go to a game, it's like, oh my god, the game's too long. He'll definitely like it now that the games are at least 2.5 hours max. On average, I would say. Knowing his luck, we'll go to a game and it's 4 hours just because it goes on extra innings. And we see the stupid ghost runner. Yeah, I do like the pitch clock, though. I do. I like the pitch clock. It gets all that, wasted time out of there. I know a lot of people, a lot of the old school guys say they don't like the pitch clock, which is understandable. They're old school. But I do like what it's going to be doing for the game. Especially for the people that do complain that it's too long. Yeah, I hate the Ghost Runner too, Gibby. I hate the Ghost Runner. I hate it. And I hate that it's going to be a permanent thing. Like, is it going to be one of those situations, like, same thing with the pitch clock? Are they going to eliminate it once the playoffs come? Same thing what they do with the Ghost Runner? Or is that eventually going to get brought into the playoffs? Because I know the World Baseball Classic, they don't do the pitch clock. They don't do anything like that. So, that's going to be a question mark there. it would kind of be dumb to implement a pitch clock the entire year and all these rules to not use them in the playoffs. That would just be stupid. Besides the Ghost Runner, I don't want a playoff game decided in extra innings because of a random guy on second base that just got there to start the inning. Well, the shift is banned to an extent. You just can't touch the grass. The infielders cannot touch the grass. You can't shift. You can shift in the infield still, but two guys need to be past second base. Two guys need to be on each side of second base, but you can still shift. You just can't touch the grass. That's basically it. Two guys need to be on each side of second base, and they all can't touch the grass. So technically, you still can shift. Imagine if Mark Burley pitched today. Oh, God. Oh, God. Hey. Try to see if there's anything else here on Twitter before we end it off here. National championship game is still on. 13 minutes left in the game. UConn is winning 37-35 over San Diego. Wonder how that'll finish. Right now, it looks like it's UConn running away with it, but who knows? Maybe San Diego State comes back and wins it. But overall, not much else to talk about with this game. You're 0-4. Please win tomorrow. Just please win tomorrow. I'm begging. I'm begging. Win tomorrow, please. For my sanity. For all of our sanity. Matt Strom on the mound. Basically a glorified extended bullpen game. Hopefully he just goes out and does his job. Offense, I need way more. Domingo Germán, he's on the mound tomorrow for the Yankees. Looking at his numbers from last year, Domingo Germán. He was 2-5 last year with a 3.61 ERA. Overall, looked like he was a guy that was more out of the bullpen last year. He started early in the year, and then eventually looked like he transitioned into the bullpen. I think he got hurt as well. Oh yeah, he didn't even start on time last year, so I'm assuming he was injured last season. So who knows? But please get to Domingo Germán tomorrow. Please win a game. And please, pitching in the bullpen, please step up. I need it for my sanity, please. So, thank you everyone for joining this long stream. I did not plan to go this long, but sometimes that's what we do here. That's what we do here. So, thank you everyone for joining tonight. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Do not forget to drop a like. I'll greatly appreciate that. Also, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. We just surpassed 670. Let's get to 700 and then get on the road to 1,000. It'll do me a great deal. Join the TTP Sports family. I'd very much appreciate it. And also, use that code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Maybe you can get yourself some opening day tickets if the prices continue to go down. So, use that. Great deal. Don't pass up on it. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining tonight. Phillies are painful right now, but better roads are down ahead. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you next.